Financial abuse is a national problem. It's chronically underreported for all sorts of reasons, and it's often lost in terminology relating to other forms of abuse, such as neglect. Often the reason that isolated, older, disabled people are neglected is financially motivated. Now, it's a national problem. Trading Standards deals with areas of financial abuse that come from outside of the family. So from carers, from people who make telephone calls, who send letters to purport scams, from doorstep callers who knock on people's doors and try to rip them off for property maintenance work. All those areas where there's a commercial transaction involved fall under the jurisdiction of Trading Standards. Anyone can be targeted by scammers and anyone can be targeted for financial abuse, but the people most likely to be targeted are socially isolated people who live out in the community. They may be older, they may have a disability, they may have failing mental health. These things make them vulnerable to scammers, abusers who want to take their money from them. We've been working actively in this area for many years, and we've got a number of successful prosecutions against rogue traders, and we've got a number of ongoing prosecutions in that area. One case that springs to mind, a recent case, relates to an older Dudley resident, a man in his 80s, who was retired, and he was telephoned at home by someone purporting to be from his bank to say that he had to go into the bank and transfer his money into a safe account because there was a dishonest employee at the local branch, the caller said, and he had to transfer his money to another account to keep it safe, which he duly went and did. He transferred his £60,000 life savings into another account and lost it all on the face of it. And when that complaint came to us, although the bank were very sorry about it, they said it wasn't their fault and they weren't prepared to refund the money. But we were able to take that case on that man's behalf. We took it to the Financial Conduct Authority. We made his case for him. The Financial Conduct Authority eventually upheld that decision and refunded all of the money to him. So he's now got all that money back. For that individual and his family, that's a life-changing result. He, having lost the money, couldn't afford to have the heating on. He'd lost all his confidence. He felt wrongly, felt very foolish. And we were able to not only give him his money back, we were able to give him his life back and give him his confidence back so he can continue to live independently and happily, which is our goal. You should be very wary of any telephone calls that you receive that are marketing calls or calls asking for information. Many of those calls will be scams. People trying to sell you things over the phone. It could be vitamins, it could be insurance, it could be trying to make appointments for double glazing, burglar alarms. Any calls of this nature you should be very wary of. You equally should be very wary of doorstep callers that you don't know, that you aren't expecting, that are trying to sell you things at door to door. The sad reality of it is many of those callers have less than genuine intentions, and you should be very mindful of them. And if you have neighbours who are isolated, who are vulnerable, then you need to keep an eye out for them, because another sad reality of this situation is they're almost certain to be targeted. In Dudley, we have a special number that you can call called the Dudley Financial Abuse Hotline. That's a number that's manned by the local authority from 9 to 5 by specialist staff who can provide advice and support if you think you're being scammed yourself or if you're concerned about someone else being scammed. That number is 01384 818 871.